So today on Project Shop, we're getting back on the mill and we're finally going to make some chips today, okay? I am going to spend a couple minutes and see if this thing holds fluid and see if I can't straighten it out. I'm not really too worried about it because I don't even have coolant anyway. We're actually going to be cutting this aluminum dry today. I might just hit it with some WD-40 or even just take the air blower and blow some air to keep the thing cool. So we're going to spend a couple minutes on that, and then we're going to get right on trying to replicate these right here. I got two of them that I want to replicate, and these are the rubbers I'm going to cut out of this material. These went in here or something. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were like that. Okay, so we have two of these to replicate. I'm going to remount this on the machine, and then we have two of these. These are hard plastic and they're just kind of tweaked. These should be pretty simple to make. They're just really warped, you know. So we want to make them out of this nice thick aluminum. Okay, now I have, the reason why I want to use that is one, this actually has some depth to it. I was going to try to use that sheet. It's just not, I mean, it would probably work, but I want to make, I'm going to try to replicate this as close as possible with the available tooling that I have. And I do have a couple sticks of this stuff right here. And then I literally have like miles of it over here that I recovered. I kept from a job. I just couldn't see scrapping, sending all this. You know how we like sending shit to the scrap yard. But this is all good stuff that I really want to use to make stuff. And this is a perfect job. I am worried that once I start bending on this stainless, it's got Oliver over there breaking glass. Well, it's holding water. Uh-oh. I am seeing something happening. I don't know where that's coming from. Oh, it's coming from right here. So we do have a split. That's what I was worried about. I don't know if we're going to be able to salvage this or not. Someone did mention in the comments that I could just stick this in a plastic bottle, which I might do. But it would be nice to fix this thing, and it looks like we are leaking over here as well. Okay, first thing is we got some micro flatheads. They look just like set screws. Okay. Uh-oh. Looks like that could be easily lost. And take this out. A little brass screw. And then there's another screw here. Well, that was simple enough. So that's like the main thing. I guess air just comes in this manifold, blows through here. I'd like to see what's in here. Okay, So somehow they got two things going into like a brass thing there. I'm just gonna leave that on there and hope that all that still works pretty good. But yeah, I can see how you could just set this down in something. Let's go ahead and see if we can't straighten up this box. Okay. Now, something's happening. See, that fold there is like, I'm worried about when I start bringing that out, I'm just going to separate that seam. Yeah. Nothing I can do about it. We're just going to have to see if we can't get this out of there. And then it is like a little bit I mean, we're getting there. Shit. Kind of hard because I can't get in there and tap that out. But for what we're doing, I think we're going to be okay. I probably should use a less, that's not really a body hammer. But hey, I'm okay with that. I'm just gonna have to get in there and seal the seam back up. I'm gonna try and straighten that just a little bit more. I mean, I can almost use this as a slapper. Oh yeah, that's working real good. I might be able to get in there and slap this side. Who needs body tools when you have scrap? So I'm not gonna, if I had something stout, like if I could probably get a lot of that out if I like had this clamped down or in the vise and work that out. I kind of want to, but I don't want to keep messing with that seam any more than I have to. I think I'm just going to call that good. And we're just going to have to find some type of sealant. I'll just bend that straight with my hand. Huh. Okay. I don't know how much of a lip that's supposed to be right there. But it looks like that might have been bent over to kind of just stop I'm just going to take this over to the degreaser or the parts cleaner and clean this up real good. Okay, this thing came out pretty good, man. Cleaned it up really nice. Now, I only had two types of stuff in the shop. I have this high strength plastic bonder stuff. It does say it goes, it'll work with metal, but I don't know how well that's going to hold up to oil. This is some clear silicone RTV Permatex, which I know pretty much would stand up to some oil. So I'm going to go with this, and I'm going to, the way this is made, it's just one sheet kind of folded in a U with two pieces of panel. I'm going to go ahead and coat all the way here on the inside and on the outside of both, and then we're just going to let it set. I don't know if it's going to work, but we're going to find out. Okay. Kind of let it get thick right there. Smooth that in there. Okay. We're not going to play with it. The more you play with it, probably the more it's going to mess up. Just going to make sure we got all of it. Now I might come back where this is really gapped out in that corner. I might just come back and give that a little extra on the outside. But I did get a good bead down there in the middle. And the only thing we can do with that is let it dry. I probably should have tested this thing to make sure that that was going to work before going this far. But hey, we're just going to hope that that thing is okay. Okay. I had to pull out a big old stick right here and find a good spot, because most of this stuff has threaded holes in it already from whatever this was used for. But I did find two good sections, one on either end. There is a section in the middle I could use, but I want to try to keep that piece as long as possible. And the little cuts that I'm going to use on the end, I can use to make these little things. So we're gonna be able to make all of our parts. Okay, so I wanted to drill some holes in this, but before I did that, I was going to sweep this with a dial indicator, but I can't find it. I had one. It was on this stuff here, but Steve was in here messing with some stuff, took the dial indicator that I had off. I don't know what he did with it. He's supposedly on his way, but who knows how long that's going to take. So I'm just going to eyeball it. It's not a super precise part, and it has a thing. We're just going to clamp these down in here somehow, and I'm going to drill this hole, or these three holes. And then I found this. This is all the tooling I have. It ain't much, but it's a start. I did find this, I believe, a countersink, or I'm not sure what it is, but it'll get me that little countersink right there. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this in there. I'm going to get this hole lined up. I'm going to zero the digital readout. That way when I drill this hole, I can come over and drill this hole. Now, being that I have no idea if this vise is straight. I don't know how well that's going to work. But what I'm going to do is try and just use the spindle here. I'm going to take this out and bring the spindle down and run this back and forth and just eyeball it. Okay, so this is definitely not the way to square your thing up, your vise, but I'm going to leave that one a little tight. And that's going to annoy the crap out of me. We're going to have to tie this up. Okay. Let's see what we got here. I'm going to do this by hand. This right here is why I don't like this. First of all, it's not really engaging. And I can't just grab it and slowly move it. Okay. Yeah, we're definitely way out. I'm just going to loosen this thing up and let it straighten itself. Okay, it's about as straight as we're going to get eyeballing it. Now, we're going to come down a little bit. I have this drill, so I got to find the collet for it. Nope. There we go. Okay. Just going to clean this up real quick. And what we're going to do is, since there's a gap there, we're just going to lay these in there. Hopefully they're sitting flat. We'll lay this on top. We should be able to drill through. We'll zero it. We can come over, drill this one, come over, drill that one. Hopefully we're somewhat straight. Unfortunately, we don't have a dial indicator at the moment, but this is what we're doing. Okay, gonna make sure that's pushed down. This is my first time using this vise since I rebuilt it. That looks better, but I think that was reversed. There we go. Now we can get some chips going. Oh, okay. We need a little chip evacuator. All right, now this, we're going to put a screw in there. Okay, I'm going to say that's good right there. I got my digital readout reading, so what we can do is just reverse those numbers to the other side, and we should drill that hole in the exact same spot, hopefully. Or somewhat close, being the fact that we couldn't really dial this in the way I should have been able to. But we're just going to send it here. I'm getting a meatball and maybe iced tea. All right, man. Thank you. Bye. Okay. Haha, I like the fact that this thing has a brake. Alright, now we should just be able to run them numbers. Actually, we can leave that right where it's at. And then just run this to the other side at positive 53375. That thing came off anyway. One thing I'm going to have to fix, there's no bolt in this, so this is supposed to come out and I can put that wherever I want. Right now it's just in that position and it's wherever it is. Kind of sucks. All right. Okay, what we're going to do now, cut the machine off, hit the brake, and put our thing on, see how good we got it. I think what I'm going to do is leave this in this vise and mill the ends, mill as much as I can while it's in the vise. For now, and then we'll figure something else out. Let's put our thing in here. See if our screw holes line up or if we're way off. Okay. Well, that was definitely not the way to do this. They do kind of line up, but I don't know. We might have to start a box of shame, because it seems like we're at the very extremes. See, if I do this and this is moving around, we got problems. I think I'm gonna have to scrap these. Okay, yeah. We're gonna have to start a box of shame, like inheritance machining, because that is way off. That's not. Now when these are in there, because there's a little bit of play, but when these get bolted on here, it's not gonna have that play. And we need to be countersunk in the right spot. See that? We got too much play. That screw is smaller than that hole. The drill bit is exactly the size of the hole, but the screw is not, which is allowing for play. So that's just not going to work. What I should have done is pinned this down like I wanted to originally, but even then, what I'm going to have to do is get something the same size as that drill bit so that nothing walks around. Alright, we're going to have to think on this for a minute. I don't want to just go ahead and waste this material, because we can use this on something else. And we'll be right back. Okay, Steve showed up with his dial indicator. Okay. And first thing we're going to do is make sure our vise is square. And then we're going to get a new game plan on this. So these are going to be not scrapped, but we're not going to use these. I'm going to go find some more pieces, and then we're going to start all over. These will go into the box of shame.
You have a nut that'll fit on.
What do you think?
Keep going. I think you're pretty damn good. Whoever put that on there.
I put it on here and I eyeballed it.
Then you got a good eye. I wouldn't touch it.
You don't think?
I wouldn't touch it. Is it locked down good?
I mean, I tightened it up, yeah.
We're not talking about it. We're talking about a little bit of imperfection in the jaw. That's 0.
Okay, we're going to try this again. We got a real machinist in the house. Steve actually has a background in machining, so if we fuck this part up, it's his fault. No, man, I'm just fucking with you, dude. Okay, so on this one, I had to cut this stock from 2 different pieces because all that stuff I had holes in it. And when I clamped it in the vise, one was sliding. So I stuck this spacer in there, and it did 2 things, which was cool. It clamped that down, and it's giving me a ledge to push this again. All right, round 2. We need a phase converter. Okay. Now we need to double that number. I'm gonna 0 everything. Full wrap it down the other way to like 1060 something, 1067. And then we'll see how close we are. 1049, 1066. I think we're going to be around 1067. That 75 and 75 would be 150. So 67, 50. Bam. Let's see how close we are. Oh. Dude, I love that brake. Now we need to come back to 533.75. $533. Now Steve said these numbers at the end really don't matter. And it's anything I do is gonna change them. But let's see how close we are. Okay. Actually, that looks really good. We just need to worry about our forward and back. So we're going to put the drill right there, and we're just going to eyeball it because I don't know the distance. I'm trying to find the center. Nope. See, this is the problem with not being able to hand turn that into place. I'll tell you what, I'm glad I fixed the this light because it actually is helping. I do wish I had another one. Okay, I'm gonna say we're good. We're at 80. Last time we were at 87.45. I don't know how. I mean, we're right here, so there's no way. Oh, what do you think about this RPM?
You're good.
600?
Yeah.
See why I gotta fix this? Because it's hard to maneuver this thing.
Yeah.
I love that brake.
You never want to touch this cutting to this spin. That's nothing but a spinning razor blade.
Okay.
You threw both of them?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you tight on these? Space off your ends. Get your length.
Look at that hole. Oh, that's way better than I first go around.
Mark your length.
Okay, we're gonna try this. I just dusted that with paint because I'm just going to cut as much of this as I can. While this is in this setup, while we have this setup right here, so. Windmill back in.
Whatever.
What, so get the whole thing?
Yeah, we're gonna make one final pass. Okay, right there. Bring your card over this way, about 20,000. Perfect. Okay, make a pass.
Kissing the baby.
That's your final finished pass. See how nice and clean it is compared to what you had? See all the shadow and shit on this end? And it's nice and smooth. You ought to go down to the other end and do the same thing.
Yeah, but I need to take a little bit more off, dude. I had a little brush over this, man.
Don't get near that shadow.
Like it's snowing. Okay, we got into a little side project. Remember when I took this apart in one of the first videos? Because this was not engaging, okay? So basically what we did is we took the washer off of this side and we ground down a washer and put it on this side so this can actually engage now and I can run this manually. I did not like the fact that I could only run it with the power feed. I wanted to be able to feel the machine. And Steve actually says you really should run these manual to feel the cutters, you know. And we also we changed out to this more aggressive cutter because that cutter that we were running was kind of dull. This one here, I mean, it was cutting, but we had to take little cuts. And then we had an issue. I almost screwed up one of these plates because I was cutting it and it was literally pushing one of them over. It was like, oh, it was pushing the bottom one over because I took the pin out. We didn't have it pinned after we drilled it. So it was very important that we pin it. Now what we did is we put some spacers up under there. We screwed it tight together here. Now this screw is the diameter. It's very tight. This is very tight. That one's just squeezing it, but with these two in there, it's not going to let this walk around. Okay, this cutter here is absolutely slinging chips. I got them all up in my beard. So I might have to get myself a face mask, but we definitely gonna need these way wipers. Now I'm not too worried about these aluminum chips getting in there and doing damage. It is aluminum. And this thing is pretty much, as you can see, just pushing the chips out of the way. What we got going on here is pretty nice. I got down in there. I stayed right off. I mean, I am literally a few thousandths above the thing here. Now I did all this by hand, so it's kind of a little wavy. This thing here, I don't like it at all. I don't like the fact that my arm is actually tired of pushing that in. I want to wheel with a foldable thing. It'd be a lot nicer just to crank this without me having to constantly push forward like that. That's ridiculous. Or if I could have just pulled on a smooth wheel, I think I could have smoothed that out. Plus, this is my first time really messing with this, so the fact that it's coming out looking anything like it should is a miracle. And let's just put this on here real quick. And we got a little tight right here, but here's the deal. Being that this is aluminum, it's going to be a little stronger. The top really doesn't matter. Down here and this here is really where we're going to have to make sure that we're right on what we need to be doing. And even that, there's a little bit of give because there's a gap where the rubber is going to take up the space, but we want to be close as possible. We're actually going to take this off and sand it. Now what we're going to do is just straight up take this out, flip it over, finish cutting this, and then we're going to work on cutting that inside profile. We actually probably need to face this down a little bit, but we'll get there. A lot more messy than I thought. We're getting chips everywhere. I'm gonna have to come up with like little chip diverters, I guess, just to keep them, you know, local and not all over the shop, because this is a mess. I can see this being a problem. Okay, looks like it's snowing chips over here. We took it out while it's bolted together. Steve's sanding down all the little uneven chatter. Then from this point on, we're going to separate them. I have to cut them down to the thickness, okay, and then you know what I'm thinking is I should have, well, I guess I couldn't because I drilled them together. I probably should have ran the countersink, because now I got to try to find the center of them holes with the countersink. Okay, now we're just going to hog out all of that, well, most of it, as much as we can. And Steve's got this thing dialed in. So we forgot to measure this thing or mark it out before we started, but we measured it, you know, from there to there at 90.
900.
900. What we're going to do, you want to take this off?
Yeah. Put down this.
What we're going to do is touch off to the top of the part, set this to 0, and then, you know, we can go down 90 on this dial, I guess.
You want me to do it?
You can do it if you want.
Fire me up.
Okay. I measured to this side of the blade.
Yeah, I know. Hang on.
So we need to figure out what our blade thickness
yeah,
is.
Exactly. Hang on a second. You touched off on the part.
On this side.
You touched off on here.
Right.
On the end, and you came 290 this way, right? That's the center, or no, that's this edge.
And we need that edge.
What size is this cutter?
Oh, we almost had to scrap some parts.
No, I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have done that. I think this is it. This is oops. An inch.
So we need to go 380, right?
We need to go, that was an inch. You touched off on this edge with this edge, right?
Right.
We need to go another inch.
380.
We need to go another inch.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to go another inch, big dog.
Hit that over. Hit the power feed to 380.
Was that an inch?
That looks like it.
Yeah, the hell was. Well, that was a quick inch. You got that locked in there, dude?
You did it, not me.
Where's your oil?
just go halfway?
Give it a shot. There you go. Now once you get it cut, you just go with it. Better let that cool off for just a minute. There you go. Yeah. That's good. That'll cool off. What do you think?
I hosed down my thing with WD-40. Shit.
Tell me where I'm at.
Whoa, don't go.
A
little more. Keep going, keep going. Keep going. I can't see, I'm going further. Freaking melted blob there, dude.
Yep. What you want to do is come down here for your final cleanup. Measure it.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
That's badass. Okay, so I broke the first end mill. It was kind of hard seeing what was going on there, and at first I was doing 3 passes. I got a little aggressive with this one, tried to do it in 2 passes. We weren't running coolant, and yeah, so I don't have another end mill that small, and I don't know if it looks like it broke off up in top. I might be able to just stick this thing. Oh, it looks like it gummed up. I don't know. Yeah, I doubt we're going to be able to use that. So, being I don't have something that small, we're probably going to have to drill a hole in the corner. Maybe stitch drill it a little bit. And then just run a big mill in there on this side. I don't know, but that's going to be it for me tonight. Before I break anything else, it's already like 2 o'clock in the morning. First day running the mill, like on an actual project, we did scrap the first part and we broke an end mill, so we're moving right along. We made a huge mess. Got aluminum chips everywhere. This is a nightmare. I'm gonna go get cleaned up, find something to eat, and we'll be back on this. We'll figure this out tomorrow. I'll tell you where we're going, right to the scrap yard. Dancing. You ever seen your copper dancing before?